I'm not saying you can't be one day, but I'm saying that, like Daniel says, like, give me the hard battles, give me the hard life. So in those moments, that through suffering comes perseverance, and through perseverance comes experience and endurance for the race. And when you have endurance, like someone like a Christian that has fought through all those battles and all those fights and still makes it out, and then that people can lead other people. Instead of fizzling out, they could raise up a brand new generation of people and lead the next generation of the church. Whereas a Christian influencer, they are the ones being discipled. They are the ones that are still learning. So it's hard to take your education and your perspective about Christianity from an influencer rather than a pastor. But even that, a lot of pastors make mistakes and they don't represent Christianity well. James.
Just all of James is fire, especially when on this topic that we're talking about. And I think the big thing is to just be genuine, be real. But it says in James 3, "Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. For we all stumble in many ways. And if anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able also to bridle his whole body." Meaning, like, nobody's perfect. So we all will mess up, but people who desire to be teachers are going to be judged a lot harder because you are leading other people in how they're going to act and how they're going to do things. And so it's dangerous. It's dangerous, I think, because like influencers and people, even pastors, of course, they have such big influence. But the thing is, if you do not have the knowledge to back it up, then that is very dangerous for you and the judgment that could be given to you based on like, oh, this person did this, and this because you told them to. Because you told them it was okay. Like, which is crazy. You're like, oh, I'm sorry I did a bad thing. But imagine getting to heaven and God's like, brother, these people are all going to hell because you told them the way that they were living was okay. And they continued and they believed in you wholeheartedly. Yeah. And so it's like, it's dangerous. And not even that, it's like, and because you used God's name in vain to do so. To say, no, God is totally fine with your sin. No, God is totally fine if you want to do this. God is totally okay. Like, no, I don't think God actually does that. Or, I don't believe in God, so I'm going to do this. And it's so dangerous. Because even when I say that, I'm like, man, what am I doing on a podcast? But I don't go in. And this is why I try not to go deep into depth unless I know what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is it's dangerous. If you have the influence, if you have people who look up to you and who trust in the words that you say, and you're saying them out loud for anybody to hear and teaching them, then you really better make sure what you're saying is true. But it says there, none of us are perfect. But come on, man.
I do like when people are genuine and are real about their walk with God. I was talking to this one young adult, and they're saying that they don't want to go to the front of the church and sit in the front because they know that they don't live a Christian life. Or they don't claim to be Christian because they don't live the life of a Christian, which is kind of convicting because like you know that in your heart, but yet you're still living the way of the world. But I respect that honesty better than someone that says, or that someone that pretends to be Christian and says, oh, I'm living my life like this and it's all perfect, when behind the scenes it's not.
Ooh.
And it goes back to that verse that says you have to be hot or cold. Like, if you're lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth. And because when you start to blur the lines between hot and cold, it blurs the lines between what a Christian actually is.
Yeah.
And one of the things we're talking about is that when Jesus returns today, or returns in the future, or like, what will Christianity look like towards the end times? And we're saying that it's probably going to be so divided that there's no middle ground. That either you're a Christian or you're not. Like, you'll know what a Christian
for God
is,
or against him.
Or you're against him. And that right now it's kind of that blurred line of what is a true Christian or not in the terms of the culture. But Jesus says he doesn't come to bring peace, but he comes to bring a sword. And that dividing line will be who is his followers and who is not.
That is crazy. And that's what I think I don't know if we talked about it last week, because I might have brought it up after we finished the podcast.
Yeah.
But in Japanese, in Japan a long time ago, they had missionaries come